Hello and welcome to another interview in our Beyond Boundaries series. And today I am joined by investor, community builder, and a good friend, Shwetank Verma. Shwetank, hi.
Hey, Matt, thanks for having me.
That's a pleasure. So we find ourselves at ITC Europe. So we are in Amsterdam filming this. Shwetank, I feel like I see you anywhere but the UK, which is where we met, right? So 7 years ago, I was relatively new into this space, and there was this guy, Shwetank, who was running Leo Capital, VC, sounded pretty impressive. We met up for a drink in London. That's a long time ago, right?
Yeah, time has flown.
I feel like you were one of the first people I met in this industry.
Maybe, yeah.
You can't comment on that.
I can't comment on that, but I remember the meeting very well, and
Yeah,
I
it's
thought
nice. We enjoyed a beer.
Sønr is going to go places, and it has. So congratulations.
Yeah, and amazing, right? But equally, and this isn't about Sønr, but thanks. This is about you guys. So I'd love to talk to you about the role in Leo Capital, which is still thriving, right? But since then, you've also co-founded the India Insurtech Association.
That's right, yes.
And I feel like you've done a ton of other stuff, whether we get into it or not, let's see. Tell me, maybe give me a bit of a journey. So I know it, maybe give the audience a bit of a journey.
Yes.
Who is this guy, Shwetank?
Thanks, Matt, yeah. So my journey, it's been fairly broad, let's put it that way. So I grew up between England and India, built a couple of businesses, one in the UK, one in Singapore, had a couple of exits, couple of knocks, worked for a family office and invested almost $1 billion in India. And then worked for MetLife running open innovation for the Asia region.
Okay. Was that your first step into insurance?
No, so my second company was an insurtech company. I was trying to build vitality in a box for Asian insurers, which had some success, but more challenges than successes. And then I decided that the best way to put all of this together was to start a venture firm. And that's how Leo was born in 2018. And that's when we met, I think. And at Leo, we are generalist investors, so we do like insurance, we like fintech, but we like a bunch of things. So I realized that I was not doing enough in insurtech because after having built an insurtech and been at MetLife, I wanted to do more. So as a man who can take infinite amount of pain, I decided to start yet another company, and we co-founded the India Insurtech Association during COVID. I remember it very clearly being a bit of a COVID baby because you was cooped up in the house and getting ideas and no outlet. So next thing I knew, I'd incorporated a new business. But the association has really gone from strength to strength. We have 300 members now, and that continues to grow every month. So we're aiming to end the year with about 400.
Okay.
This is a non-for-profit body, and it sort of reflects the vibrancy of the Indian insurtech market and the Indian insurance market, which is one of the great growth spots in the world.
Yeah, I think it's I couldn't agree more. I was like having, again, it was pre-COVID. I was out there last with a client. We took a big UK brand over to India to introduce them to the insurtech scene. But I had people from the board who were phoning their partners in the evening saying, I think I'm going to need to invest personally, and like looking for approval from husbands and wives. And it's just wonderful, right? And maybe or maybe not me as well.
Back again.
No, it was great. Tell me more about the association. What's the ambition? What are you guys doing? Because all the associations have a commonality, but also they all seem to operate slightly differently.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the high level, it's all the same, right? It's about building a voice for the regulator. That's our number one goal.
Yeah.
How do we present the industry, especially the tech side, to the regulator to make sure that they get comfortable with some of the newer things we're doing, whether that's at a very basic level, digital signatures, to alternative forms of data and underwriting and pricing, right? So helping our members communicate and also helping the regulator get more comfortable with tech is one of the key elements of why we were set up.
Okay.
And the other element was really internationalization. So India has always exported talent. It's
Sure.
If you think about it, a lot of from Daiichi to Guardian Life, the tech centers are sitting in India. Yeah. So actually the products are built in India. The tech products are built in India, which I think people tend to overlook. And the idea was that a lot of our insurtechs will want to sell to global carriers, and how do we enable that to happen a bit more, so to make it more structured to help them go outside. Yeah. So we run a program called 20%, which is the amount of revenue we think you should get from outside India, and we actively work with associations around the world and carriers and reinsurers around the world to help them access the best in Indian innovation.
Nice. because it's such a big market. It's obviously, I mean, the opportunities within India alone, and it's one of those rapidly maturing markets, right? The opportunities are huge, but we're seeing such talent coming out of India. You're absolutely right. It's moving overseas at a pace. Well, are you seeing any? I don't know if trends is the right word. Are you seeing any kind of clusters of innovation that's coming from that market? So across the 300 members or the 400 members, are you seeing any kind of commonalities around the innovation that's taking place or the technology that's being brought forward?
I think given the scale, it's hard to say commonalities, but maybe one thing, of course, is AIification of everything.
Sure.
It is the trend du jour. Sometimes it feels like you're talking about electricity, right? It is
sure,
there.
yeah.
It is going to be, but I'm personally excited about sort of how voice is becoming much more of a medium to do much more.
Yeah.
And I think India has again been at the forefront of that. So if I think back, one of the biggest innovations in the payment space was a voice box.
Mm-hmm.
So because literacy is low, text ability to read text, etc., is low, people found that they were not using cashless transactions because they couldn't confirm the amount that they received.
Right.
Because getting a text message saying I would receive 200 rupees was too complicated.
Yeah.
So the simplest innovation was Paytm put a voice box. So rather than getting a text message, you got a voice alert saying you have received 200 rupees in your account. And cashless payments took off from that.
Okay.
So that's the power of voice.
Yeah,
that is the power of voice telling you. But now you have the ability to have, you speak whatever you want, and can get fully sort of not only just transcribed but executed end to end using agents. The caller can also be agents. So we're seeing a lot of innovation on the voice agent side. And I'm excited about that because
How
I
does
think
that work with like the sheer volume of languages that are spoken?
I mean, the beauty of AI is that
I guess, right? Yeah,
I mean, unless it's a very obtuse language, I mean, there is a huge variety of languages spoken in India, but reality is that English, Hindi, and Tamil, Telugu, and Bengali get you very far, right? So you don't need 100% coverage. But I think voice as a way to drive inclusion is still massively underutilized. And that's a trend that I'm super excited about. And it's a trend that plays both ways. In India, it allows you to drive more inclusion, while in Western markets, it allows you to reduce costs, right? To make close leads faster,
for sure,
et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So
Super
I think voice intersection of AI is a theme that we are personally very excited about.
Nice. And then when jumping back into your kind of Leo Capital world, is that when you're looking to place investments, and I'd be really interested in kind of sort of a stage that you're looking at, check size, and all of that as well. But then, are there any kind of thematic areas that you're concentrating upon yourselves, and even in geographic areas as well?
Yeah. So at Leo, we are a global firm. Mm-hmm. We invest all around the world. We invest primarily at the seed to Series A stage. So check sizes of $2 to $4 million US. Look, we are more bottom up. So we like meeting founders who have a strong point of view and are sort of truly believers in what they're building and are able to show product founder market fit. Yeah. But if there is one top-down look that we're excited about is the intersection of AI and healthcare, especially in US insurance. So US insurance is a 17 sort of trillion dollar space. Yeah. To give you some context, 17 trillion is like 3x or 4x the GDP of India. Yeah. It's bigger than the GDP of China. So that's the size of the US insurance and healthcare intersection. And I think we're scratching the surface there of what AI can do from end to end, right? So from, say, note taking on the doctor's side to claims processing at the insurance side, there's a huge opportunity to redo all these value chains and dramatically reduce the cost and increase the efficacy and efficiency. So that's what we're sort of, if there's a theme, that's what we're excited about, but we're always bottom up.
Okay, love it. Right, we're going to have to draw a close, apart from one last question, which is, what is next for Shwetank? I mean, you may or may not be able to give anything away here, but I feel like you're always up to stuff, in the nicest possible way. Anything that you can, any pointers to when we're next in Amsterdam, or I see you in Vegas,
I will probably see you next in Vegas.
Yeah, that's right.
You have to look forward to the report, and it's I mean, for me, continuing to run Leo is the key thing, and we're excited about the growth of IIA, and hopefully we'll see an IIA booth at Vegas. That's next.
Absolutely. Okay, lovely. Thank you, Shwetank. Real
you.
pleasure. So keep tuning into the Beyond Boundaries interviews. It's great to be spending time with Shwetank here. There'll be more to come, and we'll see you all in ITC Vegas in October.
Thanks, Matt.